Bass Point Reserve is a heritage-listed former cedar timber industry, Aboriginal camping, meeting place, pastoral property, and basalt mine, and now nature conservation and passive recreation area located at Bulwaroo Parade, Shell Cove in the Illawarra region of New South Wales, Australia. It is also known as Long Point. The property is owned by Department of the Environment and Shellharbour City Council. The first report of Bass Point and the local Aboriginal people comes from Captain James Cook, who sailed by the region on the Endeavour in April 1770. Located 25 kilometers south of Wollongong, Bass Point Reserve is a 4 kilometers long natural promontory of rocky shorelines and sandy embayments that supports a diverse collection of natural and cultural elements. As a cultural landscape, Bass Point Reserve includes sites of Aboriginal archaeological significance and others of European historical significance. 14 sites associated with the sustained Aboriginal occupation of the land have been identified, 13 of which are coastal shell middens and 1 meeting and camping place. Sites of European occupation include potential remnants of the original jetty to the west of the existing jetty, and on Boston Point, a memorial to the 1943 shipwreck of the city's service Boston and the 4 lives lost during the rescue operation. In the waters surrounding Bass Point Reserve, 6 shipwrecks have been identified and the associated artifact scatter recorded. These wrecks include Bertha, 1879, Our Own, 1880, Alexander Berry, 1901, Comboyne, 1920, Kiltebranks, 1924, and the city's service Boston, 1943. The Bass Point marine area surrounding the reserve is regarded as highly significant for its biodiversity and pristine condition. This relatively undisturbed environment supports a variety of common, rare, and endangered fauna and flora species. The shallow and sheltered waters have seen the development of a significant but fragile seagrass habitat that provides a suitable environment for many aquatic animals to shelter, feed, and breed. Bass Point Marine Area is also classified as critical habitat for the gray nurse shark, an endangered species under NSIWAT's law. To the eastern point of Bass Point Reserve is Bushrangers Bay Aquatic Reserve, made up of beaches, intertidal rock pools, seagrasses, and submarine cliffs. The reserve provides important habitats for a variety of animals including fish, anemones, sponges, crabs, mollusks, and urchins. Bass Point Reserve also supports diverse headland vegetation and significant littoral rainforest, making it one of the most important and unique natural landscapes in southern Ness Wallace. Littoral rainforest is generally a closed forest with its structure and composition strongly influenced by its close proximity to the marine environment. Positioned on coastal headlands or beach sand dunes, littoral rainforest is considered an endangered ecological community in Ness. The natural vegetation of Bass Point Reserve supports a variety of flora and fauna, both common and rare to the region. Today, the spectacular visual interplay of the bush vegetation, beaches, headlands, cliffs, ocean, and sky makes Bass Point Reserve a scenic location for recreation visitors. Since the historic value of Bass Point has been recognized, there have been archaeological investigations of the area that have revealed significant information about its pre-contact history. Of the 12 shell midden sites identified on Bass Point, Dr. Sandra Bodler investigated 6 sites in 1970 as the basis for her thesis. Further analysis of the remaining 6 sites was undertaken by Dr. P.J. Hughes in 1974. Middens of the Nessawa south coast, including those at Bass Point, contain indicative remains of the food sources of the Aboriginal people. Upon analysis of the middens at Bass Point, Dr. Bowdler and Dr. Hughes discovered shells and bones of shellfish, fish, wallabies, bandicoots, possums, birds, and seals. It was also considered that the many middens along the northern shoreline may in fact represent a single continuous midden site. These archaeological excavations revealed the environmental change and evolution of Bass Point over time, and further analysis of the midden sites has shown the development of techniques used by the Aboriginal people to hunt and gather available resources. As a result of these archaeological assessments, Bass Point is now considered to be one of the most significant Aboriginal archaeological sites to be excavated in Nessawadas. Archaeological evidence indicates that Aboriginal people occupied the Illawarra region for some 20,000 years prior to the arrival of European settlers. The Ellawera people are traditional custodians of the land extending from Stanwell Park in the north, Shoalhaven River in the south, west to Picton and Moss Vale, and east to the ocean. The Ellawera people are a group subdivided from the larger Darawal group that occupies the land from Botany Bay to Jervis Bay. The Gravel Loader Dive Site. A wooden jetty was constructed around 1880 at Bass Point, an area also known in those times as Long Point, to load crushed stone from an adjacent quarry. The jetty was 500 feet long. In 1904, Dunmore was berthing here 4 times a week, and each time would load 300 tons in under 2 hours. The jetty was damaged by storms in 1922 and repaired. The jetty closed during the Second World War and did not resume operation after the war. It survived until 1957, when it was damaged in bad weather. Its remains were demolished in 1958. The existing jetty and its loader were completed in 1973. It could load a ship at a rate of 900 tons per hour. Bass Point was the last port of the Stone Fleet, closing in 2011. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.